Simple Science Friday. Today we are tie-dyeing. It's not that scientific of an experiment, but it is an experiment. For this, you'll need 2 to 4 large bowls, half a cup of vinegar at least. If you're dyeing something bigger, you'll need more. Half a cup of salt, at least 2 cups of water, food coloring, rubber bands, and in a pinch you could use hair ties. A large Ziploc bag, a workstation, mine's just newspaper, you can have a tub, cardboard, whatever, and a squirt bottle. And your squirt bottles can be as elaborate as you want. They can be upcycled water bottle, shampoo bottle. This is cut up into spots because once you get everything done, you have to put it in the Ziploc bag and let it sit overnight, which we did yesterday. But anyway, the first step you do is you get a half a cup of water, half a cup of vinegar, put it in the bowl, and then you soak your shirt or your towel or your socks or whatever you're doing. After it's soaked for 30 minutes, which we already did, you're gonna wring it out. Take it over to your workstation. I'm going to just roll it up like so. And then I'm going to put a couple rubber bands around it. Okay. One knot. There's a second one. And the third one. So there's all of step 3. For step 4, you're gonna need, you can use 1 container and then rinse and redo it. I just have 2 containers here, so I'm gonna do blue and green. I have a half a cup of water in here. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 drops of dye. And in here I have a half a cup of water, and I'm gonna do 8 more. Now, here is the important thing about when you actually dye your clothes. I'm gonna do every other one, flip it over, or in green, and then do every other one on the back side. Then I'm gonna do the same thing with blue, where I do every other one in blue, and flip it over and do blue on the back side. So, first off, nice and green. That middle part, nice and green. I'm going to flip it over, get this back side of the one that we skipped, nice and green, and the other one we skipped, green. Now, on the ones we skipped in green, I'm going to go blue. So back side, get a little blue. Skip one, get a little blue. Flip it back over. You're going to get blue on the parts that we skipped, blue on the parts that we skipped. Now, this is going in the bag for 24 hours. Sopping wet as it is, go in there, over, and we will let this sit 24 hours and do the rest. Now, in the one that we started yesterday, that's already been sitting for 24 hours, I'm gonna take it out, take all the rubber bands off, and then I'm gonna dunk it in a mixture of, that is half salt, half a cup of salt, half a cup of water. Salt likes to settle there at the bottom, so I'm going to stir this up really quick. So after I get this in there, I'll get the shirt in there, dunk it really quick, and then I'm going to rinse it out. Okay, we went nuts on this one. All the different knots. It will be very tied and very dyed. And again, the more ties you do, the longer this is going to take. Oh, and the reason you're gonna put it in here is to set the dye. And the reason that you did the scientific parts I left out, the reason you soaked it in the vinegar in the first place was to get the material ready to accept the dye. The reason that we are putting it in the salt water is to set the dye. And it doesn't go in the salt water for very long. It's just kind of a quick rinse. By then, hopefully everything's good to go. And like I said, it's not the final step to dunk it in the salt water. After that, you're gonna rinse it out completely. So you'll have your finished product, set it out to dry. There are a lot of ties on this one. Okay, so the more ties you make, the more elaborate your design's gonna get. You got your green and orange around this one, and then down here you got your own separate one. So this is pretty much what it's gonna look like after we rinse it and get it all set. So, real quick, mix the salt water back up again. Dunk it in there pretty good so we can get it all set. And then we'll rinse it out. Dry it, and we'll be good to go. And that's about it. Another tip is to not wash this with your regular clothes for a few times. This will run, this method of it. Also, gloves come in handy as well, unless you want to dye your hands green or blue or whatever.